The narcissist is often viewed as powerful, strong, even dangerous, charming, the one that can bend the world to their very image. But behind the veil of control, manipulation, the meticulously crafted image of the self he can so virtuously put on, in truth, lies someone who lives nearly every moment in omnipresent, self-inflicted torment. What if I told you that beneath the veil, that mask, the narcissist simply lives in unending hell? And just like Dorian Gray, the narcissist loves his self-image, wants it to stay pristine, perfect, forever. Yet he can't quite stand the sight of himself for too long. For in his own eyes, he sees the madness raging underneath. The narcissist is generally defined as someone who lives in grandiose fantasies. He is the dreamer of all things himself. He is the runaway as fast as you can, just as he runs away. Runs away from criticism, from truth, from anything that threatens his illusion. To challenge him is to become his enemy. The narcissist is envious, yet enviable in the eyes of many. He lives for constant admiration. He is the ultimate attention addict. It is not for fun for him, as nothing ever is. It is a necessity, and he will do anything for another hit. He doesn't look for actual genuine friendship, which can often lead to the misconception of the narcissist being a sociopath or psychopath. He simply needs to be admired. They need to rule their social surroundings to achieve admiration. Like Napoleon famously stated, "The world is too small for my ambition." As he didn't just want to lead the nation of France, he didn't only want to rule the world, he needed it as his own grandiose mirror. A mirror that stretched from Paris to Moscow, reflecting his godhood back to him to make up for his parents that never quite gave him the love and appreciation a child so deeply needs. There's not an interpersonal space online where the narcissist X isn't being villainized, rightfully resented, yet rarely understood. For the narcissist will pull you in. He'll make you feel like you're flying 30,000 feet up in the clouds. And these very magical moments will keep you hooked, in some cases, forever. He lies in huge numbers atop the largest companies' music charts and blockbuster films. He lies atop nations, perhaps even leading your very nations as we speak. But what truly makes the narcissist this way? And how does he actually feel? And what is truly happening beneath the mask? In the mind of the narcissist, he exists for the sole reason of being admired. I am admired, therefore I am. Without a constant stream of admiration, he simply ceases to exist and falls into his very common depressive self-loathing state. For the narcissist is not happiness that exists, not ever. It is simply an endless endeavor, and even more so a necessity to be viewed as wonderful, marvelous, exciting, great. He surrounds himself with people who reflect back his imaginative, perfect self. Even if his parents never saw him as special, and that was all they tried for him to be, others do. And that belief is everything he needs. They cling to his self-proclaimed greatness, hoping that by standing in his shadow, they too might feel a glimpse of said wrongfully perceived perfection. With enough power, the narcissist will take this endless endeavor to unforeseen heights, and even then he will simply feel empty. King Louis XIV, better known as the Sun King, built a solar system where he burned at the center, forcing the noble to circulate around his godlike self-created image like moons, glowing with his borrowed light. And when the world doesn't reflect his greatness, two conclusions arise. Either he is worthless or they are. And if they are, they deserve to be punished. The narcissist doesn't really question himself, his actions, or his worldview. He will rather look at his image from his imaginary perspective and will protect said image at all costs as not to confront himself with the damning and destructive, yet potentially freeing reality. Like Dorian Gray, the narcissist locks his suffering in the attic, hidden behind charm, wit, and power, but every lie, every manipulation, every moment of cruelty, it stains the portrait, and he knows it. He cannot confront the reality that in fact he isn't all-powerful, for nobody is, as to escape the confrontation of his childhood trauma of being completely helpless, unloved, and powerless. If you, in turn, confront the narcissist with a view that could hinder and question this ideal perception of the self, he simply will not hear you. Just like in the myth of Narcissus, he rejects the calling of Echo, the cursed nymph that falls in love with him, for only she truly knows his all-so-painful reality. At the core of the narcissist disorder lies deeply rooted childhood trauma. He never gets to feel unconditionally loved by his parents and loved ones. Therefore, the narcissist develops feelings of his own inadequacies, which he then early on in development starts compensating for with grandiose images of his perfect self. This idealized and marvelous image in return grants him protection from the unpredictability of the outside world where he is unloved and, in his view, never quite enough. Any form of critique then in essence becomes a form of an inner earthquake, shaking the very foundations of the narcissist's existence. It's like throwing a stone into marble glass. Everything shatters. A healthy person will view various forms of critique as an opportunity to retouch the self-image. The narcissist painting will shatter at the very thought of critique. He therefore lashes out in uncontrolled rage.
That's right, you better walk away. Go on, walk away, cause I'm gonna burn this down. King Kong ain't got on me.
And turns any said critic into a dishonorable, dishonest enemy that deserves nothing less than pain and suffering. The narcissist doesn't see people as good and bad simultaneously, but rather as either or. The former giving validation to the perfect image, the latter confronting him with the ugly truths. The narcissist must preserve his grandiose perfection without a single dent, as to protect himself from the awfully painful little unloved child that lies trapped inside. One of the greatest illusions and lies widely believed is that the narcissist loves himself. This, however, could not be further from the truth. He hates and despises his true self, the child locked up inside. He is, however, in love with the grandiose self-portrait he needs to exude at all times. Once you attack his perfect painting, you will reach the sad, hurt, and now angry child hiding behind it. The narcissist is in fact buried alive in the darkest, blackest tomb imaginable. From an early age, he was manipulated, dismissed, and unloved, in most cases by the mother. In turn, only a very slight, if any, true image and understanding of the self ever gets created. The only real knowledge of the self that develops is that the way that I am isn't and never will be enough. I do not bring my mother joy or happiness unless I try and change and fulfill her needs.
I'm a hard-working honor student who's considered to be one of Japan's best and brightest. And I will become the god of this new world. It's just as I thought. Humans are so interesting.
This child feels a progressive numbing of the true self, diving headfirst into a grandiose, better, now perhaps satisfactory self, for the feeling generated by a deep-lying insufficiency is unbearable. The grandiose self-preservation can definitely bring the narcissist benefits, yet never truly real experiences or real satisfaction. The narcissist is always trapped in an empty, unfulfilling hell, running away from undesirable feelings that are ever so slowly creeping up underneath this meticulously painted, shiny golden image. Nothing is ever enough. The only answer is therefore more work, more success, leading to the ever painful perfectionist illusion. Those are the only two pillars the narcissist can truly lean on. They are his support and his ever painful undoing. The narcissist can never truly even like himself, much less love himself. He can therefore never make a mistake. He can never misstep. Once any form of failure occurs, he divulges into self-hate, depression, and panic. The self-hate is often hidden behind a veil of complete apathy or unadulterated rage. The same reaction then often happens at any sign of disagreement or the misunderstanding of his grandiose words and visions. In relationships, the narcissist is attracted to representative, put together, and attractive individuals who are simultaneously more so submissive, for the narcissist needs to feel in charge. He often searches for and finds overly emotional people who then in turn live in a way for him as well. Yet he of course never forgets to demonstrate how said emotions of his partner are simply overboard. A traditional initial pairing, seemingly utopian at its start, is the narcissist histrionic or the narcissist borderline coupling, which eventually divulges into an unforeseen nightmare. The narcissist's suffering is such he can never truly feel softness, kindness, or genuine human closeness and love. He will always keep his distance, as his ability to love was destroyed forever from early childhood on. Love and genuine connection was replaced by rationality, high performance, high function, and self-crafted principles. He is flattened, constantly living off of the very surface level self-created image that is, from his perspective, perhaps deserving of love. The narcissist has little to no connection with weakening feelings such as fear, sadness, despair, and can therefore never feel real connection with the world where these feelings and realities are present. The only true feeling the narcissist is close to are variations of euphoria, followed by hate and resentment on the other side. Each act of cruelty is a brushstroke of wrought on Dorian Gray's perfect painting. The problem arising when trying to help the narcissist is that he simply cannot step down from his golden pedestal and meet his humane, mistaken true self. Yet only if he does can he perhaps slowly start reconnecting with what actually feels true. Then, and only then, can he start to truly form real, balanced relationships and start living an existence that is at least somewhat fulfilling.